All right, let's watch Cold Fusion. AI fails at 96% of jobs. New study.
In the absence of AI and robotics, we're actually totally screwed.
We are working to build.
That's that's if you want to keep the whole shit machine going, because it's very simple. It is not physically possible to have infinite growth in a finite world. Finite world means that there are limited resources on the planet. Eventually, we're going to go through all of it. There's not going to be anything else left. At that point, how would it be possible to keep growing as a company? This goal is disconnected from any basis in reality. There should be a complete overhaul of how people think and how shit works. Automation and robotics has to work for this shit show to keep going. Otherwise, it's most likely is going to crumble.
Tools that one day can help us make new discoveries and address some of humanity's biggest challenges, like climate change and curing cancer.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. Here's a question. How can AI be disrupting the job market, but also be losing billions of dollars at the same time? Well, this video will answer that. The truth is, while AI helps make some jobs easier, when compared to a human, it performs worse a whopping 96.25% of the time, which basically means given AI 10 tasks, and it will perform at least 9 of them worse than when compared to a human. That's at least according to a new study. It's such an interesting finding and begs the question, why has no...
Yeah, why? If they're so good and able to pass all these amazing benchmarks and these amazing tests, why is it so that it has not taken over in 2024, 2025? We're 2 months in, 2026. I still have a job. Why did Microsoft still push the goalposts for a year and a half in the future? Why, if it's so great, isn't it happening right now?
one systematically compared how well AI does versus a human who's done exactly the same job. All previous benchmarks have been simulated human work, not real generalized work. The results from the team of researchers who did the study makes one think, maybe the true value of consumer AI isn't hundreds of billions of dollars, but orders of magnitude less. I'm not saying that all AI sucks. This study is just a general reminder that AI is a time-saving tool and not a replacement. Just maybe, the economy is valuing it too highly when it comes to near-term capabilities.
Big time.
Now's the time to upgrade to the new Dell AI PC. It's optimized for AI workloads and engineered for the future. So no matter what's next, you're ready.
In this episode, we'll take a look at the study in detail and discuss what it all means.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
So the synopsis of the study was straightforward enough. Give paid jobs already completed by real people to AI models, and then see how well the results compare. Once the AI completes the tasks, humans evaluate the results. The researchers called this method the Remote Labor Index, or RLI. It's so simple. Most of us use a computer to do modern work, right? So why not just directly compare how well AIs compete on a professional computer-based job? The jobs to be completed were real ones from the freelancer site Upwork, a site where you pay remote workers to complete any given task. The jobs were varied from video creation, computer-aided design, graphic design, game development, audio work, architecture, and more. Both humans and AI were given the same brief and any attached files that were necessary for the job. For example, an Excel spreadsheet of data or instructional images. The AI models were tested on 240 jobs, each paying $630 on average. So, how did they perform? The performance was abysmal. The best AI was Claude Opus 4.5 with a 3.75% success rate when it came to producing work of acceptable quality. You heard that right.
Oh my
96.25%
God.
failure rate was the best.
All right, just so you know, these have, for the most part, no real life application. These numbers here, they are absolutely staggering.
Performer. Interestingly, Gemini was the loser with a 1.25% success rate. Now, Claude Opus 4.6 might score 5% better, but that's still a 91% failure rate.
Yep.
When these scores get to 35% or 40%, then we can talk. So a couple of things to note. The original paper used AI models that were 6 months or so old, but their website has up-to-date results, which are the scores that I'm referring to in this episode. I'll leave a link for the website below. So where exactly did the AI systems fail? Well, first we need to define exactly what failure means. Failure counts as not performing a task at or better than a human level.
Yeah, that's why the benchmarks that they use to show the numbers going up from one model to another, doing these mathematical academia exams or these mathematical puzzles or whatever the fuck, it is based in absolutely nothing. They are able to gamify these problems. So the models are specialized in doing that, but it has no application in real life.
This is specifically in the context of a freelancing environment, an environment where people actually pay money directly for the work. With that in mind, the paper lists 4 main failure points for AI systems. Number 1, sometimes the AI would produce, quote, corrupt or empty files, or deliver work in incorrect or unusable formats. Number 2, AI, quote, frequently submitted incomplete work, characterized by missing components, truncated videos, or absent source assets. For example, a video of 8 seconds when an 8-minute video was required. Number 3, another one was quality issues. Quote, even when agents produce a complete deliverable, the quality of work is frequently poor and does not meet professional standards.
Oh, wow.
End quote. And finally, number 4, inconsistencies with AI-generated work. This includes a house's appearance changing across different 3D views, or digital floor plans that don't match the supplied sketches. It's all very interesting. So for years now, we've been told that AI is going to replace humans everywhere, but the truth is, we are nowhere near that point, at least not
Nowhere
yet anyway.
near.
So then, where did the AI succeed? Success would mean that the AI does the same work at the same quality or better quality than human output. They note that AI was proficient in creative ideas, like audio and image-related work, along with writing, data retrieval, or web scraping, and that kind of checks out. The success of OpenClaw attests to the latter two, and AI images and audio are already good enough to fool a lot of people. Advertisement and logo creation was another successful area. It's also no surprise that AI was good at report writing and generating simple code for an interactive data visualization. Competent video generation is coming very shortly. Just take a look at Seedance 2.0.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see that there's a lot of cuts, right? So I wonder, like, how many tricks they're using to make it feel like that. It is still pretty short, fast-paced. I would be very interested in seeing how long it can keep one scene going without everything falling apart. It's very weird the way that it behaves when it does it. And here a lot of them have been slowed down. I've seen the one with the Jerry Seinfeld. He goes through the wall, and I mean the whole scene is, I think, something like 5, 6, 7 seconds, something like that.
So the main takeaway is AI is pretty good at some things, but horrendous for general work. But what else do we learn? This paper exposes a lot, much of it negative, but it does show that the RLI format is a very useful measure of AI performance in the real world. Reason being, current day benchmarks aren't reflective of real world performance. As the paper puts it, quote, "While AI systems have saturated many existing benchmarks, we find that the state-of-the-art AI agents perform near the floor on RLI." End quote. I found the study to be very robust, by the way, so I'll leave a link to it below. According to this study, AI may impact jobs with lots of language requirements, audio, simple advertising, or data retrieval, but human oversight is still needed. A PwC report found that the majority of CEOs see no financial returns from AI. Upper management and CEOs just command workers to use AI and expect it to all work. For AI to work within a corporation, there needs to be a planned and skilled implementation.
Yeah, that's the thing. Skilled implementation. They've been saying that it's going to take over. So for it to take over, it has to work right away, right? It has to work the same for everybody. If it's either be autonomous, it has to be autonomous for real. If it's a tool, it has to be the same tool for everybody. Why is it that my colleagues use it as a search engine and you have like senior software developers that are able to use it as if it was 10 developers working on it? And that means that it is not the same for everybody. It's not everyone that has the same experience with these things. And if it was the case, then maybe, yeah, people should be worried about their jobs. But this is so unlikely to happen. They're just trying to keep it going until they build the next generation of data centers. If they get there, maybe it's going to start replacing part of the workforce, but we're not even sure that they have enough money to get there. So this is going to be a pretty interesting thing to see.
Of the technology with the knowledge of its shortcomings, and that doesn't happen a lot of the time. Gartner predicts that by next year, half of the companies that fired workers for AI are going to hire them back.
Well, we've seen already companies do the rehiring dance, and it seems that some of the companies, it was a tactic to have the employees come back at a lower salary, which is pretty gross.
Also, 9 months ago, Microsoft proudly proclaimed that 30% of their code was written by AI, and
Yeah, and now they have so many fucking issues. Every single week, Microsoft have new problems. So I guess it was pretty stupid.
since then, we've seen some of the worst software issues at the company in its history. Now, it's obvious that AI is disruptive, and some jobs will be lost to the technology. For example, diffusion models are proficient in the visual arts, as you saw earlier. But as for LLMs and the general workforce, this study indicates that job losses could be a lot less. The AI space does move fast, so I could be wrong, but that's how things are looking today in early 2026. To sum up the job prognosis in one line, if you're a software engineer, set up a business that fixes vibe-coded apps, and you'll make a lot of money.
I think the thing is, artificial intelligence really is going to transform the world, like in ways we can't even imagine.
Well, unless he talks about specific example, you can assume that whenever people talk about artificial intelligence or AGI, they talk about it in the philosophical sense or the sci-fi sense, nothing to do with anything that exists right now.
But it's not going to do it now, not with this technology. My favorite
Yeah,
example.
that's it. That's exactly it. This is not the technology that is going to bring us there. Because of the way that it works, it's not, that is not it.
Of this is one trains them on the whole internet, so they get access to a lot of written rules of chess and lots of games of chess, and they still make illegal moves. They never really abstract the model of how chess works. That's just so damning. You would not be able to learn chess after seeing a million games, reading the rules in Wikipedia and chess.com, just making it bigger is not going to solve these problems. We need to do foundational research. That's what I was saying for the last 5 years.
What is intelligence? The problem is to understand your world, and reinforcement learning is about understanding your world, whereas large language models are about mimicking people, doing what people say you should do. They're not about figuring out what to do. Just to mimic the what people say is not really to build a model of the world at all, I don't think.
So I'm not saying that AI will never work, or it's not genuinely useful already. There will be some narrow AI products that work really well. I'm just warning that there's a significant financial risk in the current AI space. The investment ethos and the rollout of AI everywhere might be misallocating hundreds of billions of dollars. Even in the medical field, Reuters just reported that the FDA has received 100 reports of AI malfunctions, botched surgeries, and misidentified body parts.
Wow.
In a few cases, a lawsuit alleges that the AI misinformed the surgeons on the locations of their instruments, causing one to mistakenly puncture the base of a patient's skull and causing strokes from the damage to a major artery in 2 others. We don't need to put AI in every field. It's just not ready yet.
Yep.
Again, in some fields like coding, high maths, and writing, AI is pretty good and can make jobs a lot easier, but we can't pretend like it's going to replace everyone perfectly right now. Now, I was going to stop the video here, but just a couple of personal thoughts. Back in 2016 when I started covering AI, it was fun and fascinating to see how these things worked. But ever since the big money started coming in, the hype has just gone off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
CNBC just reported that companies like Anthropic, Google, and Microsoft have paid individual content creators $400,000 to $500,000 each to promote their AI models.
I always say you can't manage what you can't see. Monday.com shows you the full picture like that. Static.
Now, brand deals are fine, but if the current generation of AI was as revolutionary as being advertised, they
Why
wouldn't
would you
need to
need
spend
it?
so much money to
Yeah.
convince us. It's a jarring disconnect. One last thing.
We're fooled into thinking those machines are intelligent because they can manipulate language.
Oh,
And we're
Yann
used to
Lequin.
The fact that people who can manipulate language very well are implicitly
He says it. He's the one who says it. This is not the way to go. He's the smart guy. He was working at Meta and he got fired. Well, he got replaced eventually, and I think removed or stepped down from his functions because he was telling the truth to Zucker, and Zucky didn't like it all that much, so he hired somebody else who has actually not much technical knowledge to lead the AI team at Meta. So if you have any reference to AI, this guy, he's the superstar.
smart, but we're being fooled. Now, they're useful. There's no question. They're great tools, like, computers have been for the last 5 decades. But let me make an interesting historical point, and this is maybe due to my age. There's been generation after generation of AI scientists since the 1950s claiming that the technique that they just discovered was going to be the ticket for human-level intelligence. You see declarations of Marvin Minsky, Llewellyn Simon, Frank Rosenblatt, who invented the perceptron, the first learning machine in the 1950s, saying like within 10 years we'll have machines that are as smart as humans. They were all wrong. This generation with LLM is also wrong. I've seen 3 of those generations in my lifetime.
Sorry, I was a little late.
It's just another example of being fooled.
That's Yann LeCun, the creator of convolutional neural networks. He's been outspoken in saying that the current AI architecture is reaching its peak. He thinks that throwing more data and power at the problem isn't going to solve it. And I think that's what the early data is showing us. It's called the scaling problem, and it's a large part of my upcoming video about how OpenAI is in big trouble. When it's complete, I'll leave a link for that episode below, so be sure to check it out after this. Anyway, that's about it from me. You've been watching Cold Fusion. Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure the comment section will be very, very full of very good discussion. Anyway, that's it. My name's Dagogo, and I'll see you again soon for the next episode. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, the Cold Fusion videos, they're awesome.